The excitement of the NASCAR Cup Series is hard to beat. Racing door-to-door at some of the highest speeds in motorsport on banked superspeedways like Talladega and Daytona, it attracts millions of fans worldwide.
NASCAR has done a phenomenal job marketing the sport. I mean, you can go anywhere in the world and talk about Daytona, the Daytona 500, and people know what you're talking about. Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte, Tony Stewart, all of those guys, they put the sport on the map. And then you had Dale Jr. come on the scene, and it made our sport very mainstream in America.
NASCAR's ovals offer a great view of the action, and while the showpiece season opener, the Daytona 500, attracts over 150,000 fans, the sport remains close to its roots.
NASCAR's had a very deep history, especially with the OEMs and the manufacturers, of win on Sunday, you sell on Monday. So the cars that they see on the racetrack, that's something they can relate to when they're driving down the street. They see a Ford or a Chevy or a Toyota and they go, I can relate to that. That's what I just saw my favorite driver driving the day before.
I think this year is a huge reminder of that, just in the relevance of the way that the car looks to the street car. But if you look at everything that's involved and where everybody wants to be, no matter how you get here, where you came from or what you worked on or drove or whatever the case may be, NASCAR is really the top level of racing in our country.
Even though it's grown tremendously and has a huge popularity in the States, it is still very family-friendly, kind of homegrown, grassroots, and people relate to that. The drivers are typically pretty low-key, laid-back guys and accessible as well. And so I think that our fans just appreciate that.
While safety is paramount, crashes are part of the show. With 40 cars in close proximity, there's always a chance for things to go wrong, and at over 200 miles per hour, the big one is never far away.
Oh, crash! 19's gonna go around, he'll collect the one. 22 of Logano also in it.
You can't make mistakes. The competition is so close that there's no room for error. And that is something that is so difficult because there's so many different facets of the race. It's not just have the fastest car. It's not just be the best driver that day. You have to have everything. You have to have luck. You have to have the car. Your pit crew has to be on that day. There's so many things that have to go right to win a race in the Cup Series.
This season's new Gen 7 Cup car has brought parity with 19 different race winners, including 5 rookies making it to victory lane. Everyone wants to make it in the Cup Series, but it's not easy.
I remember a couple years ago asking Jeff Gordon, I was like, do you have any advice? And he said, everybody wants a winner. And that's the truth. I mean, if you're winning races, no matter what level it is, whether it's in a sprint car at the local level, USAC level, ARCA, Xfinity, Cup, it doesn't matter what it is. If you're winning, people are going to want you.
The top 25 to 30 cars in the field can win on any given weekend, and that is a very competitive field, and that environment makes it so exciting because every single weekend is a new weekend and a new opportunity for a race team to go win.
With race wins so precious in NASCAR's top category, drivers face fierce rivalries. On and off the track, the NASCAR Cup Series always provides drama, and the fans love it.
There's always a storyline, whether it's the drivers fighting each other, whether it's underdog, whether it's the guy that's won 10 races this year, there's always a story, and NASCAR does a really good job of promoting that story. I feel like that's why NASCAR has been able to stay on top for as long as it has, because there's always something to talk about, and the fans are as passionate as they are. It's just wildfire at that point.